Most people do just eat genuine slop as their foods.
Never
It's
eat seed oils.
Most people completely are normalized about eating the most awful shit ever. But do you know why it's kind of promoted? It's not some crazy conspiracy to make you stupid or anything. That's not what it's about. Even though I would love to believe that, but realistically, it's just economics. If you're eating processed foods, let's say you're eating Doritos and chips or whatever, these foods, if a price goes up on one of the ingredients, they can swap it out for a cheaper ingredient or a different ingredient, you know. If one of the sweeteners gets more expensive, use a different sweetener. If a dye is more expensive, use a different dye, right? But, you know, you can't do that with like eggs and shit, because, you know, eggs are eggs. You can't like manufacture eggs and shit, so if you're making like anything from factories with a lot of ingredients, then you can just make them lower quality or higher quality depending on the economy. And people don't notice, you know, you can still buy those same processed foods for a cheap cost. So as long as you eat anything, you will survive until like the age of 30. But you're gonna really notice the health effects after that period, because the human body does just kind of fucking kill itself after some time. Can I say that? I don't know. The human body shuts down after some time of eating the modern foods that we eat. Like much like everything, it's all economics. It's not about uh it's not really about anything else. It just makes sense economically to make processed foods and make people reliable or reliant on them. You know, like it's also like a political thing where if everything gets more expensive, it's a big issue, right? You know, if food gets more expensive, people are gonna go, wait a minute, this party sucks. I'm gonna vote for the other party, right? But if you're eating processed foods, the prices don't really change all that much. Like, sure, they can fluctuate a little bit, but not as much as like eggs and meat and like milk, and you know, these are more staple goods that do fluctuate a lot. And it's unfortunate that it's like this, but that's how the economics work of the world. I think if you want to look at like how good a country's economy is doing, look at the prices of like eggs, of meat, of these really important things you can't really fake. You know, you can change the recipes of like a Coca-Cola to make it use like a different cheaper sweetener. But you can't make cheaper meats. Like you have to kill an animal for that. You can't like make an AI animal or something to like, you
To
know.
be fair, isn't that more dependent on the cut? Like,
It depends on the animal actually a lot. Like for animal price for like meat prices especially, it depends on the animal where the like part being given, the cut, quote unquote, is actually usually the prices don't fluctuate too much. They're kind of similar, but the actual animal itself is what's expensive here. For example, buying a kilogram of pork is like 30 lei or like $6, but buying like beef is is 10 billion times more expensive. It's like it's like it's like 20 lei per 100 grams. So think about that for a second. So, and I think that metric just shows how Romania's economy is not very good. I mean, The fact that beef costs that much is insane. You know, to eat beef, you have to be like upper class, pretty much, and to eat a consistent diet of animal foods, you have to be middle class, unironically. So that's pretty fucked up. That's why people resort to eating slop. I mean, it's cheap, but slop is still slop. If you're eating
To
highly
be
palatable
fair,
fruit, yeah, actually go on, yeah.
I was say to be fair, if you want to eat like super optimally, couldn't you just fucking what do you call it? Isn't just you only need to eat like one food, like
No,
one like a few
no.
foods, pretty
Yeah,
much.
like a couple foods, but variety still is still important to keep you from not suffering on your diet. If you're eating the same thing every single day, it just gets boring. I know it's not optimal technically to get bored, but we are still humans and we still want to eat separate foods. Sometimes I'll eat fish instead of chicken alongside my pork. Because why not? I mean, you gotta eat something. You gotta eat something different every now and then. But yeah, you mainly want to eat the same things. Also, fish prices are so expensive. It's insane. Fish is usually cheap, or that's how my impression of it was anyway. But like salmon is more expensive than like pork. Like what the fuck? It's insane. Like the only cheap fish is like fish caught in the Nile River, but it's so ass. Like it's not good to cook. It doesn't taste bad, but it like crumples. It's super soft, which it's too soft to even eat pretty much. It's very unfortunate. And then like basic Atlantic cod and shit is also just really expensive. Like it's insane. And then obviously a lot of people are misinformed about what's good for you and what's not. It's promoted to eat a varied diet, to eat a little bit of everything. But
Have grains, have vegetables, have fruit, have dairy, have meat.
yeah, but do you think of any animal that actually eats a little bit of everything? Even like omnivores, like do you like no. It's an opportunity cost thing where like you could eat a bit of everything, but why would you when you can just eat the like actual good things for you, right? That's where it comes down to where you're trading, your opportunity. And then a lot of people have lactose intolerance as well, which I actually haven't looked into that too much. It's one of those things I want to look into because I'm so interested by that. Dairy is one of the staple foods. It's something our ancestors didn't really eat much. I will be honest though. Like if you're like nature maxing, then yeah, our ancestors did not eat much dairy because you know there was no
They
butter.
knew how to get.
There was no like cheese and shit. So if you're nature maxing, then yeah, you can't really say that like, oh, we ate so much dairy. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that you're not really supposed to eat much sugar when you're an adult. That's something I'm still also kind of interested in. Sugar is not inherently bad for you. It's really good for it's good to have external sugar for your hormones and like efficient thyroid hormone conversion and other important stuff. You can't just live fully off of meat. It's not ideal. But maybe our bodies stop producing lactase when we reach adulthood because we don't need the sugar from milk anymore. Like the carbohydrates, the lactose. Maybe? It's something interesting to think about.
Like I'm going to be honest. It's like cool, or it's like good to know that okay, so if I want to be healthy, I should like eat. You know, I should stray away from fruits mostly, except for like a few. I should obviously prioritize me, cut off like most of the fucking, literally
Mm,
most of the things on shelves on stores, but it's like at the
yeah.
same time, like when I'm older, I'll probably enforce that more on myself, but like right now, I don't really care. Like
Health is one
I
of those
don't.
things that you only realize how important it is after you get like a health scare. That's the thing. Um, the thing is with being healthy, it's it's a compounding thing. So if you get bad sleep, if you don't have correct nutrition, if you're constantly stressed, those all will give you cognitive decline. You're stupider. Like you're literally stupider. And because you're stupider, you make worse choices. So it's a slippery slope where you just literally go down and down and down. That's the thing. Like you gotta understand that it's not just about like, oh no, I'm gonna get a heart attack like at the age of 92. It's like, no, you're stupider and you're gonna get sick more often and you're gonna feel like shit more often. Your gut health determines your mood. Like that's not what it's about. It's not age related. Your health influences everything. Your brain doesn't control everything. Your body controls a lot of that. Where again, your your gut health in the like the influences your mood. It's insane. It's completely insane. And what you eat can literally make you stupider. It's like it's your brain can develop less if you eat something bad. You can also develop lifelong addictions if you drink a bunch of alcohol at like the age of 17 to 18 when your brain is still developing. Those neural pathways of alcohol can be so deeply entrenched that it's like a lifelong thing where you will never truly become free of it. Like that's how important health is. I mean, I would not be saying any of this if it was like one of those things you could just kind of neglect. Like, neglecting health is like saying, well, I won't study right now because it doesn't matter. And then when you try and get a job, it's like, oh shit. And then you start studying. It's like, well, no, why? Why would you do that? Why would you waste time of your life? It's a very stupid thing to do. Again, health is one of those things that are kind of simplified. They're simplified down for people, but it goes so deep. It's not even just about food. It's about like the sunlight you get. Your circadian rhythm. If you don't get sunlight when you wake up, your sleep cycles are going to be fucked up. You will not be able to sleep at the correct times. And you also feel super tired when you wake up if you don't look at the sun. Like this shit goes deep. It's it's insane how deep this goes, and it's glossed over. It's not really explored correctly. Yeah, so all these things stack up over time. I mean, even like exercise. A lot of people think exercise is super healthy, but it ages you. I mean, do you think your body is meant to fucking pull weight and like push and pull the weights? Like, no.
I mean, that's kind of what we have arms and stuff for.
There's a difference between grabbing like a branch or like holding something and then pushing heavy fucking weights for multiple times a week. It's a big difference. And your body's not made for that. You can adapt your body to it, but that's not what your body's made for. And if you, first of all, if you exercise, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to exercise, because there are actual benefits to exercising as well. But it does age you. And a lot of the bodybuilders you see look way older than their age. You know, they have like wrinkles, they
What
have
kind of
bad skin
bodybuilders are we
conditions.
talking about? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of like quote unquote bodybuilders that do it for
Mm,
show mostly use like steroids and
yeah,
such. That could
so
also be.
steroids obviously age you a lot. Steroids age you by like a shit ton, so obviously. But the actual act of exercise also ages you. Not as much as steroids, but it does age you. One of the worst exercises that you can do is just running. Like sprinting is a different thing. Sprinting short distances actually does boost human growth hormone. It's allegedly pretty good for you. But doing long marathon, like 20 miles, like runs, like jogs, humans are made for endurance running. And you will start getting like dark eye circles, and your body will constantly be fatigued, especially if your diet's also bad to accompany that. So I still think you should be active though. I think being in your chair all day is not great, and going outside, you know, taking in the fresh air a little bit, and walking around a bit. The occasional like lifting is completely fine, but if you're exercising more than like 2 times a week, like obviously depends on how intensive the exercise is as well. So yeah, exercise is it's one of those things that if you have this mindset of like, oh, you gotta get the work done. You must like do 50 push-ups right now. It's like it's not the looking back on it, because I definitely did believe in this type of shit. Looking back on it, it's just so cringe. Because like, no, it's not good for you. And most of your strength, by the way, comes from the weight you have on your bones and your development. So sure, if you lift a bunch, you can maybe increase your strength by a little bit. I'm not gonna deny that. You can probably increase your like amount of weight you can lift by like a good 20-30 pounds. But most of your strength is gonna come from the muscle on your bones and just the overall weight you have on yourself. Weight and strength scale. There is a very very strong correlation. You can only be so strong if you weigh like 10 pounds. And you can only be so weak if you weigh 20, like 200 pounds. So actually being a healthy weight is even more important for strength than just exercising. The more you exercise, the more efficient your body gets at it, you know. So eventually it's gonna become effortless pretty much to exercise. But like again, if someone likes exercising, then yeah, sure, you can do it. But if you just hate it and you're finding no joy from it, and your body's telling you like, bro, why are we doing this? Then come on. I mean, I'm really interested in these topics because it just goes against what you're hearing. If you enjoyed the clip, check me out on Twitch and YouTube. I stream most days for multiple hours and I'm close to my goals of 100 followers and 1,000 subscribers. So help me out.